Hi guys, in today's video we're going to do a little modification of Scout's basket bike. We're going to add this little Originate light bracket onto the basket stay. We're going to do that with a center punch, a big nice drill bit that's actually sharp and works, unlike all my cheap little bits that are terrible. I have to go buy some nice bits. It's going to need a little 8mm wrench and like a 3-way Allen wrench for tightening this guy up. And it's also going to need a slightly longer bolt and a nut. So I went to a 30mm bolt and a nut. So when it comes in there, it's just too short to actually go through a stay or a basket and have this thread on. It's made just to barely stick out to thread into an eyelet. We're also going to put some new silicone grips on. These are just generic silicone grips. You can get them anywhere for any amount of money. I scored these, a bunch of these, from Tomcat bikes at Krishna's little swap meet we just did the other day. They got a really good deal on them. I'm pretty stoked about it. So I'll be using these on the next couple of bikes because they're comfortable, they're easy to clean, they're easy to install. All right, let's get to the video. So here is the old basket bike. You can see where we put the light mount last time. Just sort of clamped it onto the side of the basket. We can still get it on and off and have the light. I just really like it. The light was aiming sort of straight up in the air and way over to the right. It was a little bit awkward. So we're going to move it down to this stay with this mount. It's bolted right there. Let it clip on. It's going to be great. So the first step is going to be figuring out where we want it. We want to make sure there's plenty of room to get the light on and off. I'll probably put it kind of in the middle. There's no reason not to. I'll sort of line this guy up, use my thumb as a guide, kind of get it in the center. Snap it a few times. This is sort of punching a little teeny tiny dent in the stay. So the drill bit will start, not wander all over and fall off of this round stay and be super annoying. Hi, Scout. We're doing great. All right, got the hole drilled. Should be plenty big for the M5 bolt. You can sort of just test fit stuff and see. You can Google the exact right size. I always sort of just go test fit and see. Usually go a little bit bigger. I often just do my holes right to 1/4 inch. Because there's plenty of room to go in, a little bit of room for wiggle, especially if you have to do several bits for something with multiple pieces. It's nice to have a little wiggle room to get them just right. So you don't have to worry about drilling them perfectly on, which is almost impossible because drills are always trying to move and do things. And a little light mount has a little cap on it, which is basically like a bar end plug. So you just kind of gotta wiggle this guy off, use a little screwdriver to get it off. Kind of really made to screw into like an existing braze-on, like at the dropout or in a rack mount. It is a 30mm bolt, where the stock one was about a 25. So I'm going to drop this down into the barrel. Grab an Allen wrench. Sort of hold it in place. You can use your finger. Put the nut on from the back side. It'll be very hard to get a wrench on, but that's okay. Thread on. I can use a washer or anything, so it's concave, and the washer will just bend and make it sit over an angle and not be happy. This little 8mm to kind of hold this nut awkwardly from this side, and we'll tighten it down from the front. As best we can. Oh, that is long enough to go in there just barely. Tighten it the long way, which is nice. Get it pretty snug, so it's not going to come loose or rattle around or fall off. Make the light rattle and fall. Now it's on there. This is kind of a concave, so we can technically push a little bit to sort of aim it if we really want. Take the little cappy and pop it back on to so you look all pro. Just remove this old zip tie holding the old light mount on. Loosen it up and popping it off. And we're just going to move this down just like this is a chunk of handlebar. it loose. Tight, 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 tight. Let's tighten this up 2 clicks. So you can see inside the light mount, it's kind of a zip tie. You can see the little serrations. So I'll just push that in. And just tighten that little serration in one more belt loopy kind of spot. You're not being as cool as I want you to be. I guess it will turn out the other way. Yeah, I guess the other way is the way to be. Okay, so righty tighty. I'm going to flip this little switch up backwards, and that cinches it down. Now, the light is in a much better place down below the basket. Aim at the ground. There's nothing interfering with the light. And won't be distraction on things. It won't be aimed all weird up at the trees while I'm riding to be distracting. So the first thing we do for this fender is get rid of this reflector, because it is very much in the way. There's an Allen wrench from this side. Ooh, not even an 8, it's a 10. It's not actually exciting, just creating drama for effect. Clickbait, if you will. Ooh, so exciting. Watch me remove this bracket. Cool, 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 cool. The next thing we're going to do is move this light up out of the way as much as possible. It's really enjoying being stuck on, so we get real loose. There we go. Move it up pretty high. This is going to make it getting in on the stand a little trickier, but we'll live. Fender sort of clamps on just like the light mount. Not really looking like that's going to be enough. A cutty thing I do sometimes with these fenders is mount them onto the seat tube and have them stick through, but the cantilever brake, the cable is in the way. That is alright. We might just have to get more clever with that light mount. I'm going to go ahead and take it all the way off. And we'll worry about it later, because we can clamp it onto a stay. There's a boss down here. We might even do another thing like the little front light we just did. All right, lights away. Totally awkward and uncool. Make some adjustments to this fender. So Allen bolt here, and another one on the other side, just like it. And one up here. Possibly. And it's a way bigger size for no reason at all. Just to make life more dumb, I think. In the interest of ease, we'll switch to a 3-way. And the cable is in the way. If I took this whole little flap off, which probably does nothing, get this thing way cooler and tighter and more down. Do I care enough to do it? Probably not. We'll just have it be awkward. Stick up way too high. Be real ugly. Maybe this will motivate me to actually go get some real fenders. A lot of people don't care about fenders, but this is Oregon. Tell the truth. You think they're ugly, you don't ride them. And then you're soaked and miserable at work all the time. So might as well just get them. Okay. That is on, and we're back to our light. Could put it up real high and not be able to put the bike in the stand without moving the seat post. You don't really want to clamp any of the other tubes with the bike because don't destroy your decals or chip your paint. People can overclamp things and wreck your frame. It's almost impossible to wreck a seat post unless it's a carbon fiber super light one, and they're cheap to replace. You wreck your whole frame, you're going to be real bummed. So I'll probably just put the light on up and in the way, and not planning on putting this bike in the stand for a while, or we can always pop the fender off if we need to put the bike in the stand. Alright, so light is back on the easiest way possible. I do also kind of want to change these grips because they're just terrible. They slide around. I've never liked Dories. So let's just do that. I'm going to use a little flathead screwdriver to make a little gap in here so not so stuck on. We'll slide on a little easier, slide off a little easier. A lot of shops use compressed air. Just blow the compressed air in up underneath the rubber. And that makes a little air gap all the way around. The grips will slide right off. That's also great. Sometimes they're stuck real sticky. I'll stick the screwdriver between the bar and the grip and break it all the way off. Sometimes I'll spray a little soap or degreaser in there to get them off. Break that seal. Do it from the back. Do it from the front as well. So on this grip, I'm just using the screwdriver just between the bar and the grip. Just going around, kind of break it loose. Oh, that's pretty much working. I like to slide it down from the back side. Get it all the way up in there. Slide, slide, slide. Just so it's not sticking everywhere. Perfect. Got these new little silicone grips. They're going to be real tight. I usually have to put a little bit of rubbing alcohol on to slide them on. Like I said, most shops still blow them on. So what I have here is just a little tiny bit of rubbing alcohol. It's going to barely mist. Because you want it to be able to evaporate and dry. Might even be too much. Not enough, it won't go all the way on. Too much, it won't dry. And hopefully that's enough. So push them all the way on, even though they're probably a little long for that space. Then we're going to take little end caps, pop them in. It's a little safer. You can see on the bar, this end is hollow. It's basically a giant hollow needle. So if you get in a wreck and this whips around and stabs you in the stomach, it can definitely cause some issues. So it's pretty good to have those little end caps in. So now we do this other side. Just a very light misting of rubbing alcohol. Gonna slide it on. Sometimes if I can't get a grip to stick, I'll do a little layer or two of electrical tape, because the tape will stick to the bar, and then the grip will stick to the tape. Just rolling them on, pushing this end up, squeeze them on a little bit for this cap to go in. This might cause a problem in the future, but I can't really slide the levers up because the bar is kind of hitting the shifter. What I could do if this causes a problem or these caps want to pop out is just cut a little bit more of the grip off. Just some scissors or a little razor blade and go around. Oh yeah. Sort of let those sit and set up and make sure they stay nice and tight. These are a silicone grip, which is great because they're real easy to clean. You wash them, they look brand new again. They kind of match my little keys, so that's adorable. And there you have it. Hopefully the last update we have to do on the old basket bike for a while. It's got the new grips, it's got the new light mount on the basket, and it's got a little mud fender so we don't get as soaked and miserable while riding around this fall and winter. Now it's time to go on to the new projects. I have two. Start a new video series. Awesome. Thanks, guys. We'll see you soon.